district officials, Division B director, club officers, role players, and dear fellow Toastmasters. Good afternoon to one and all. My name is Parul Srivastav. Today I am going to serve you as the host for this training session. I feel honored to do this role. Don't limit yourself. Don't limit your challenges. Challenge your limits. With this, let me read the district mission. We build new clubs and support all clubs in achieving excellence. There are few ground rules to be followed in today's meeting. First, except the speaker, all the others are requested to keep your mic muted throughout the session unless you are asked to switch on. Second, please refrain yourself from speaking on taboo topics like sex, politics, and religion. Third, for better meeting experience, suggest everyone to view the meeting in the speaker view. Fourth, all the club officers are requested to rename themselves with club name first, followed with their name. I would like to introduce my co-host. My co-host one is Toastmaster Nimita and co-host two is Toastmaster Chandrasekhar. Now it's time to welcome our Division B director. She is a distinguished Toastmaster who is administrator by profession. She is a passionate and committed Toastmaster since 15 years. She has served as she has served in various leadership roles. Most important, she is a most fun-loving person. Please help me to welcome our distinguished Toastmaster, Rihanna Pinto, with a round of applause. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, host Parul, for that wonderful introduction and warm welcome. I welcome each and everyone gathered here, all the District 116 club secretaries to this COT 2 training session for secretary role. With this note, I open the session. Very warm good afternoon to one and all, and welcome you to this COT 2 training session. This training is conducted 2 times in a year by the district, and as per the TI, Toastmasters International requirement. Why, we might say, why do we need another second training when we have just had a few months ago? Yes, we did have a training when we took up the role beginning of this term. This second training is required. We need to brush over all that was taught in the first training session to know more about it and to remind and refresh our responsibilities and roles in carrying out the roles. Also, when we have done this role for the past 6 months, we must have encountered different challenges. We have gained some experience. So it is when we come together, it is better to share all those experience and even also those challenges. So from our experiences and our challenges, we may help other club leaders, other club officers to know how to perform better. And with training, we gain confidence to perform our roles better. So this is to enrich our knowledge and also to perform better in our roles, what we are taken to be serious in our roles, to give our best to the club, support our club members, and also help our club, because this is one of the points where the club will achieve the distinguished club goal. So when officers attend this training, we will help our club also to achieve its mission of achieving one of the DCP goal. As well as when you help your club, you help your area, you help your division, and you help your district to gain this. And we have qualified trainer officers today. When we come out of this session, we will be more confident to take up our challenging roles. So with this note, I welcome once again to the Scott to training session. To conduct this training session, I am just supported by wonderful Toastmasters from Division B. My Bs are here as our host Parul Srivastava. She has welcomed you all, who is really been a pro in this hosting contest with last year's Division B contest. And we are happy to have her as our host here. Distinguished Toastmaster Parul Srivastava. And she's ably supported by two other co-hosts. Division B Admin Manager, Nimita. Nimita, can you just wave your hand and greet yourself? Nimita Anish is the second host, co-host, and Chandrasekhar. Chandrasekhar also, who have come forward. Yes, Nimita, who have come forward to support us conduct this training. We have our registration team, Toastmaster Area Director 5, Vanessa Pereira. And she is also supported by Anju Chaco, who will be looking after the registration, and we have to get this report to our district PQD. So your attendance is not made known and been checked throughout the session. You just can't say that you're logged in now and you can get the point. No, you will have to be there for the whole session, and it will be monitored by the registration team. Thank you, Vanessa and Anju, for helping us in this registration desk. And we have our trainer, timer, to man the sessions, to time the sessions. And she's another young Toastmaster, Toastmaster Joylin. Please show your camera on also so that everybody knows you. Because later on you will be showing only the timing guidelines. So let all know you're the timer of this session. Thank you, Joylin. And now we move on to the trainer, the main person of this training session. She is none other than a confident and outgoing, warm person, currently juggling between two roles as a mother, and also she is employed by a Supreme Committee as a senior project manager with Supreme Committee for Delivery and Legacy. She is the past treasurer of ICC Youth Toastmasters Club and a past Gavel counselor of ICC Gavels Club, and currently a Gavel coordinator at Division E. She's with Toastmaster for the past 3 years, and it is an honor to have Bindu as our trainer. Please, friends, put your hands together to welcome our Toastmaster Bindu Singh as a trainer for secretary role. With a round of applause, please welcome Toastmaster Bindu Singh. Toastmaster Bindu, the screen is yours.
Thank you, Division B Director. Who would be a better person to introduce me than an able administrator herself? A very good afternoon to all you club administrators. That is how I define a secretary role of a club. You are the administrators of your club. Unless the administration is done right, we are not going to move forward in the right direction. Good afternoon, one and all, and a very, very warm welcome to all of you to this Court 2 of District 116. I would like to keep this session as interactive as possible. So at any point in time, if you feel there is something that you would like to share with everyone in this meeting, please raise your hand. That is the way I would like to take it. Please raise your hand and we can go ahead with your point at any point in time. Of course, you are aware of the agenda for this training. We have a Q&A session at the end, towards the end of the meeting. However, if you feel that the point is relevant to be discussed at this point in time, please go ahead, raise your hand, and we can take it. So, the secretary role, the secretary responsibility, and the resources that are available to all of us. We are aware of this. We have gone through COT 1, during which we have seen what is the role of the secretary, how we go ahead with executing our roles, and where all we can look for the resources. Who is there to help us? Who is there to guide us? Is there a manual that we can refer to? Is there somebody that we can talk to for more insights? We have all seen this as administrators of our club. Just to recap very quickly, your role as a secretary, and give me this flexibility to stop sharing and start sharing whenever I want. So anyone would like to go ahead and define what is your role as a secretary of your club? Yes. Okay.
Major role is to prepare the minutes of the meeting.
Exactly. Major role. One of the major roles is to prepare the minutes of every meeting. What else?
Ma'am, it is like keep all the information up to date, including the minutes of meeting and whatever information, whatever events happen in the past and whatever happening in the future. We have to keep all the records updated. That is the main responsibility of the secretary, what I feel.
Exactly. Exactly. Yes, please. Go ahead. Ava ladies.
Yes. Assist the ExCom and president in particular for the smooth functioning of the meetings. That is also one of them.
Definitely.
Greet the guest and take the details of the guest.
Yes. So taking attendance, maintaining attendance for all the meetings is another very important function that a secretary does. So in short, we are supposed to keep all the records of our club to date, current. What do I mean by current? It should be exactly giving me the status of the club records till today. My president asks me, what's going on, Bindu? Where are we on the membership? I shouldn't redirect my president to VP membership. I have all the records. Who is attending the meetings regularly in the club? I have the attendance sheet. So I can quickly do the analysis and give the response to the president. So I am the keeper of all the records in my club. Whether it is minutes of the meeting, whether it is any resolutions that have passed during the meeting, whether it is any observations I myself have about the meeting that I would like to communicate, all the records that are to be maintained for the club are to be done by the secretary. So that is how important my role as a secretary is. Now, that is as far as my role as a secretary goes. What are my responsibilities? We touched upon this briefly. So the responsibilities, it is not only when I'm attending a meeting. Before I go into a meeting, I need to be prepared for the meeting. So when the meeting is in progress, one action that I do is take the minutes of the meeting. Another one, I circulate the attendance sheet so everyone gets to put their attendance there. After the meeting, what am I supposed to do? I have taken the minutes, I have taken the attendance, I need to do the analysis. I need to provide the figures to the VPE, the VPM, maybe the president, the treasurer, as the case may be. I also have to circulate the minutes of meeting. No point in just writing the minutes of meeting and filing it as a record. No. I have to circulate the minutes of the meeting. Now, these days, we have WhatsApp, we have emails. So it's become a lot more convenient. We can quickly circulate it through WhatsApp. We have a WhatsApp group for the club. It goes to everyone. We also need to do it through the email so that everyone is able to view it. Now, we also have some roles in the executive committee. We are one of the executive committee members. So during the executive committee meetings as well, we do take the attendance, take the notes, take the information on what are the decisions made, who has put the resolution, who has seconded the resolution, and what was the decision. Whether the resolution was accepted, it was rejected, what is the reason. All these things need to be minuted by the secretary. So this, in short, is what we do. So I will be going very quickly since we've done all this during part 1. So it's just a recap. So before the club meeting, you are prepared. So you post the MOMs of the meeting well before coming to the next meeting. These days, we do not read out the minutes of the meeting. We circulate it beforehand itself. If it is not done, then small time slot should be allocated for the secretary to read out the highlights of the last meeting, and then it can be circulated. Prepare the list of actions for the president, unfinished businesses, announcements, correspondences, update the club's officers list. Now, as record bearer of the club, you must have encountered this. You must have done it as well. When the ExCom takes office, we need to report these ExCom members to Toastmasters International. When you took up this role as a secretary, the outgoing secretary has done this for you. So when you have taken the oath as a secretary of your club, what do you need to do? You need to verify whether the officers list has been updated in TI International or not. This is very, very important. So all the records, not only at the club level, but at the TI also should be current. And that is the secretary's responsibility. Anyone would like to share any points, any experiences that you have had when you have taken up the office? The officers list was not updated. If you had any challenges, you can bring it up. Okay, let's move on. Upon arrival at the club meetings, we've just seen that. So if you haven't already circulated the MOM, you're going to do it before the meeting. And once you arrive, you circulate the attendance sheet and the guest book. Now, why do we need to do this? Why do we need to do this? Why do we need to take the attendance of our members as well as the guests?
For the members, we need to keep track of who is attending regularly. And guests, of course, are most important because they are going to be the Toastmasters. We follow up with them so that they will be our future members.
Exactly. Any other interesting points? Okay. We need to take the attendance of our own members. Why? This brings in lots of insights into the health of our club. If I see consistently someone is not attending the meetings, this should ring a bell for me. Why is this person not attending the meeting? Unless I keep the record of the attendance and do an analysis after, it can be not for every meeting, but every month you can decide the frequency, maybe every month or maybe 2 months, do an analysis of the attendance and see who are the members who are regular to the meetings, who are the members who are not regular. If they're not regular, we need to take some corrective actions. The corrective actions could be, you could directly talk to the member. You could pass on this information to your VP membership. The VP membership could contact the member and try and find out what is the reason for the person's absence from the meetings. Now, one of the objectives that we have is to bring in more members to the club in order to improve their leadership skills, their communication skills. While we bring new members, it is all the more important to take care of the existing members. We have to definitely take care of the existing members, since these are the members who are going to bring in new members for us. So unless we take care of our existing members, new members coming to the club, bit of a challenge. That is why we need to do this analysis, inform the right officials of our club to take the corrective actions. Guest list, as you rightly mentioned, we need to follow up with them consistently. We need to keep in touch with them, see what is their objective, what are they looking for from Toastmasters. And our communication with them should be geared in order to make them understand how we at Toastmasters can help them achieve their goals. So that is why we also need to keep a log of all the guests who have been attending our meetings.
Bindu, there's somebody who has raised his hand.
Okay. So I'm not able to see here. I'll stop sharing.
Maybe you can ask him to just speak up.
Mr. Hamid. Mr. Hamid.
Please go ahead, Mr. Hamid.
Hello, ma'am. Good evening.
Yes, go ahead. Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, I am Hamid, Malayalam Toastmaster Secretary.
Welcome.
Ma'am, I want to know this. When we are attending in the meeting, we are making the agenda first. That right? That the secretary, this is duty for the make the agenda. Then do the submit for the meeting. Submit the meeting. So this is the systematic for the first we'll do in the secretary post in the we'll do the agenda or some other matter.
I did not get your question, Mr. Hamid. Could you kindly repeat it?
Yes, we want to make the first agenda, right? The meeting agenda. This is the one secretary first prepares making for the agenda, first making for the this meeting. Is it right? First make the agenda, Mr. Secretary. Right?
The agenda is generally done by the VP Education.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not the secretary post.
No, it is done by the VP Education.
Okay. That's all. I'll come back.
Okay. Okay, so we've already covered this. Outside the club meeting, of course, maintain accurate roster and distribute the roster of the current paid members. Now, this roster is something that we maintain for all the members who are active in our club. Now, what do we mean by active? Active members are those members for whom we have paid the membership fee to Toastmasters International. So we could have 40 members for this term, and a few of them could drop out. They do not want to pay their fees. They do not want to continue their membership for the next term. So those members become inactive. So we need to maintain the current roster for all the active members. Keep the club officer list current at World Headquarters. We've already seen that. Handle correspondences, whatever communications are received, we need to file them, we need to circulate them within the ExCom as applicable. Keep club files for specific duration. Now, this is very important. Some of the files that we maintain are required to be maintained for specific duration, starting from 3 years to indefinitely. Now, it could be physical files or it could be electronic files. So these days, mostly we have switched on to the electronic files. So we see to it that these files are maintained and updated over a period of time and is always current. Whatever is archived, the archived files need to be maintained for whatever period of time has been prescribed by Toastmasters International. Attend club executive meetings. We've already seen that. Now, this is another one privilege that we have as a secretary. Vote at international business meetings. As all of you are aware, we have the international convention once, wherein the next set of officers are chosen or elected. So there we have this very powerful right of voting. Now, this right generally is delegated to the district trio, since they are the ones who attend our meetings at the convention. However, it is very, very important to bear in mind that we have this very important right with us as secretary of our club. I am executing my job perfectly well. But sometimes it does happen for whatever reasons. I may be sick, I may have some work commitments, and I'm not able to make up to the meeting. What happens? The minutes are still to be taken. The meeting proceedings are still to be recorded. So I should always groom someone. I should always train someone who can replace me in these instances wherein I am not able to make it to the meeting. This is very important. This is during the term that I am in office. What happens for the next term? Same thing. What do we need to do? We need to pass on the baton to someone who can take forward these responsibilities and execute it with the same precision that we have been doing until the day we walk out of this role. So during our tenure, of course, we pick someone, we train someone so that they can replace us for the meetings whenever we are not available. As well as prepare someone next term. In turn, our successor in the office of the secretary. This is very important because the show must go on. with the same professionalism, with the same efficiency, and with the same elan. That was a short recap of what we have gone through during COT 1. Now, for me, as I've already mentioned, a secretary is a central role in any club. Is a central role in any club. The treasurer depends on you, the VP depends on you, the VP. I can just count who all can depend on you and who all you can assist. It only goes how much drive you have, how much drive I have, and how much I wish for my club to be number one. So let us all unmute ourselves and you can tell me how you perceive your role to help the other club officers in your club. Toastmaster Sajid.
To me, madam?
Yes.
Actually, I'm a pretty new TM, not even take up any role, but with my interest and advised by my president, I attended this meeting. I'm very curious, very eagerly watching your talk and everything. I have no experience as a secretary before.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for. Thank you so much for your concern to me.
Thank you. Without being an office bearer, you have chosen to attend the meeting. That itself speaks a lot.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. I will take over if I am eligible later.
Everyone is eligible. Everyone is eligible. Go for it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes, Toastmasters. If we are fulfilling our duties, we are helping. Okay. Toastmaster Reem. And always offer to support other ExCom when needed. Definitely, definitely. Okay. So this
Yes,
is,
sir.
Yes, please, go ahead.
Yes, we are discussing that how we can help as a part of our these roles. From the previous meetings also, we are reading the minutes of the meeting and we note the amendments and current readings also. So we remain involved with everyone. We remain connected with everyone. So as you mentioned before, we are the central role. So we remain in communication with everyone. And this is what the way we can helping our club and we are communicating.
Exactly. Thank you, Dr. Thank you, Toastmaster Khawar. Okay. How can you assist? So secretary at the center. We have the treasurer. How am I going to help the treasurer being the secretary? Yes.
From the roster, we can check how many of the club members have paid their money if anyone is remaining. So we can inform the treasurer and active members number can be increased.
Exactly. So we maintain the current roster. We are maintaining the attendance as well. And we know in a year, 2 times, we have to pay the TI fees. So therein, I can be very, very helpful to the treasurer, informing him or her, this is the list of our members who have been actively attending the meetings. So these would be primarily first-hand approached for the fees, and then corrective actions could be taken for the members who have not been attending the meetings frequently. That is how I can help the treasurer. How can I help the VP?
Yeah.
Yes. Go ahead.
If VP is not able to attend the meeting or need help in preparing any agenda, I do help my VP in that. And at the same time, I maintain the record of how many people have completed their projects in that particular level. So who can complete their level 2 and participate in international contest, or how we can support the people by giving speech slots so they can achieve their projects and then leadership targets. So in planning that ways, I help my VPE.
Exactly. So we all are aware that we have some DCP goals. We have some performance goals that we need to achieve right at the club level. It gets reflected at the area level, at the division, and at the district level. So it goes one step at a time, gets rolled up. If we perform well at the club level, obviously, it will be reflected further up the ladder. So the secretary can very actively do this analysis and help the VPE set the goals for the members. Setting the goals for the members is what? Is the speeches that we need to complete, the levels that we need to complete. Each of these levels gives the club points. These points reflect on our performance. So herein, we can help the VPE providing the inputs in terms of the members attending, in terms of any interactions that we have with the members as secretaries. This is a very, very important role for us. In addition to maintaining quality of the meeting, we also need to develop interpersonal relations with our members. It may not be possible every time for the VPE to have good conversations with everyone. We can pitch in over there, build in relationships with our members, and be the conduit between the VP and the member whenever required. That is how we can help our VP and we can help our club. How about the VP membership? How can we help our VP membership? We've already touched on this topic earlier.
Since we are keeping all the records, we know the status, we know the membership, and what is required to be done. Depending on that, we can guide, or we can assist VP membership, where we are going, where is our club, and what is to be done to achieve our targets and goals. So in that way, we can help our VP membership.
Exactly. Thank you for the beautiful.
Also follow up with the guests and encourage them to join the club.
Exactly. Exactly. So membership retention and membership growth. We can help the VP membership on both these fronts. Membership retention, we can get all the information from our members due to the excellent relationships we set up with the members. Sometimes they would be comfortable enough to talk to us about their concerns, to discuss with us why they have not been attending the meetings as compared to any other officials. It does happen. And that is the beauty of interpersonal relationships. That is how we can help our VP membership as well. What about the Sergeant at Arms? How can we help our Sergeant at Arms? Another very, very important role in the ExCom, in the smooth running of the meetings. How have you gone ahead and helped your Sergeant at Arms? I can't believe that we don't help our Sergeant at Arms.
Before, when we had the physical meetings, I helped with my Sergeant at Arms to see that all the materials required are in place. And even after the meeting is over, I see to it that I help her to see to it that all the equipment, the lighting, banner, everything is taken care of.
Yes, great. Lending a helping hand. Lending a helping hand always helps. It always helps. It makes the other person feel so good. Someone is voluntarily trying to help him or her. It means a lot because ExCom is nothing but teamwork. Every one of us has to be like this. We cannot be like this. It has to be like this. Unless we collaborate, unless we communicate, unless we lend our hand of help to each other, can the meetings be successful? Can we achieve the club goals? No. No. This is very, very important. So as the administrator of my club, as the secretary of my club, it is on me to take whatever hats I can in order to support my ExCom, in order to support my members by developing good interpersonal relations with them. From time to time, I should call them. Nowadays, the scene is completely different due to the online meetings. So earlier we used to have face-to-face meeting. You get to see the person. Developing interpersonal relationship is far more easier in that case. These days, what do? We have WhatsApp. So we message. Message is just text. There are no feelings in that. But it's still some form of communication. It's still some form of communication. So pandemic or no pandemic doesn't stop us from having effective communications with our members, with our guests. So Toastmaster Reem is saying, if any items need to be ordered, communicate this need from Sergeant at Arms to Treasurer. Exactly. So this is another very important role that we can play in supporting, in following up on the supplies that the club needs. Now, what are the kind of supplies that the club may need?
Stationaries.
Stationaries, as in the ballot paper we have.
Yes.
We have those ribbons. We have the certificates. What else?
Toastmaster badges.
Toastmaster badges or pins. Very, very important. Yes. That gives us a sense of pride, isn't it? When we wear the badge. Very important. There are other, you have the ballot you have the lectern. There are various other items which we can procure from Toastmasters International, wherein we can be very helpful to our Sergeant at Arms and to our treasurer as well. We touched on all these points just when we were discussing executive committee. We have already seen the current, the record should be current, minutes, everything. Okay. So we know what we are supposed to do. We know how we can be helpful to our ExCom members, to our guests, to our club members. When do we need to do? What do we need to do? Who is there to help us? And are there any resources? We've discussed all those points. Getting started. This is what you're doing today. You're taking a refreshers training on your responsibilities as the secretary. So attend the district sponsored club officers training program. Read the materials, very important. There is a lot of literature available on Toastmasters site. There is a proper video that also explains to you what is your role. How do you go about executing your role? What are the forms that you need to do, that you need to take in terms of the attendance form, in terms of the roster? All that is available at Toastmasters International site. What else? Meet with outgoing executive committee. Needless to say, we have to meet them. They are the outgoing executive committee members. So there has to be a handover to us. They have to hand over what they have been doing during their term. And this handover is very, very critical for us to continue at the same performance level and try and improve on that. So this handover has to be done very carefully from your side. Take all the information that is necessary. Meet with outgoing secretary. Obviously, all the files will be with the secretary, which need to be given to you. The role needs to be explained to you. Meet with current executive committee members. Obviously, that is your core team that you will be working with. The president, the sergeant at arms, the VP membership, PR, and so on. Confirm submission of newly elected officers list. So when you're taking the handover, do ensure that the outgoing ExCom secretary has done this reporting at TI International. Review and order any needed materials. We have touched upon this. Another point that I would like to highlight here as well. You are the base camp managers. You are the base camp managers. That is immense responsibility. Being the base camp manager is an immense responsibility. What does that bring for you? Yes?
As base camp manager, we can, yeah, please carry on.
Go ahead.
Somebody was talking?
No, it was me. You please go ahead.
Okay. As base camp manager, we can keep an eye on the progress of each and every member, and we can help each member to check on their goals, and whatever is required, we will help them. I do that.
Okay.
I keep record of DCP points, how many we have achieved, how remaining we can achieve. That is the one thing I do as base camp. And when the sorry, what I can say, the member applies for his level completion, I look into the completion things also. And if any problem occurs related to their certificate submissions and all, I connect to TI Internationals through email and get the things done. So as
Beautiful.
Basecamp.
Beautiful. What else? Basecamp managers? So, improving our leadership and communication skills is the objective, isn't it? Why we first joined Toastmasters. We help our friends achieve the same goal. As Basecamp managers, we have this very important right with us to verify. Please be careful to verify when a member has applied for the level completion, whether all the documentation is there in place, all the collateral that is required for the level completion is there in place. Only then we go ahead with accepting for the level completion. If there are any issues with TI, we can jump in there, get it resolved as rightly Toastmaster Priya explained to us. So we can be that link between the member and Toastmaster International and get these things resolved and give the member a seamless learning experience. As to the resources, we just discussed those. So on the site, on the TI site, you have the Distinguished Club Program, Club Success Plan, which you can refer to. You have the guest book, item number 84. So that is for keeping your guest list, club officers list for the ExCom members, and use of Toastmasters material. As I mentioned, Toastmaster website itself is, I should say, an enormous wealth of information. It's on you how much time you can spend digging information that you need. It may not be only for your role. It may not be only as a secretary what I need to do. I can perform better if I know what the VP membership is supposed to do, what the treasurer is supposed to do, what the VP membership education is supposed to do. And as a club, together, what are we supposed to achieve? Only then I will be able to set for myself an action plan. This is how I will support my ExCom. This is how I will make my role more effective, more efficient, and in turn, help my club achieve the goals. So do spend some time on these resources. Do visit Toastmasters International and see what you can learn from there, how you can improve your club's performance based on that. And definitely, I guarantee you, it will be of great help. It will be of great help.
Can I just add something here?
Yes, please. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, Zahir from Doha Toastmasters Club. Yeah, being a secretary and a member of the ExCom committee gives exposure to, responsibilities, higher responsibilities. And this will also make us learn about the responsibilities and duties of other ExCom members. And that's alone gives, it's an extra experience for somebody who's not only a member of the Toastmasters International, but also takes some specific role to help in promoting the public speaking experience. And also being a member of the ExCom and having meetings with the ExCom members to discuss any initiatives or any proposals and and vote for any proposals or initiatives or new ideas. This is also a role of the secretary. That is not only his own or her own role, but also to share with other ExCom members how to take the club to the next level.
Exactly. I completely agree with you, Toastmaster Zahir. Very beautiful points and really very, very enlightening for everyone. And that's why I was mentioning, spend some time, go to Toastmaster International, try and read up on the other ExCom roles as well, and see how you can help the other ExCom members. That is where you will know, and that is where you will get that sense of satisfaction of executing that role, the central role, I say, of the secretary. Thank you so much. Great. So that was a brush up of our role as the administrator of our club. Now, there are certain scenarios that may occur during your tenure as the secretary. Taking the minutes of the meeting. So it could be very difficult to take the minutes of the meeting while participating in a business meeting, wherein, as Toastmaster Zahir just mentioned, you could be suggesting some improvement points. You could be bringing up some points for discussion. So how do I do both the things? I also participate in discussions and I also take notes. It's not possible. It must be a dilemma that many of you must have come across. Minutes of meeting needs to be taken, regardless whether I am proposing for some changes or I'm just taking notes. But I can delegate that job of taking the minutes of meeting to a person, maybe from the ExCom itself or one of the members whom I have groomed to take the minutes of the meeting. Of course, before circulating the minutes of the meeting, I will have to go through the minutes that has been taken by the member, validate it, verify it, and then circulate it. So that is how we can take care of this role while we are actively participating in certain discussions which we have brought up for improvement of the club, for certain changes, and so on. Second, how much detailed should the minutes of meeting be? That is again a dilemma that we have. Should we only capture the highlights of the meeting, or I also discussion points? I'm sorry, is someone wanting to speak?
No, you can go ahead.
Okay. So this is again a dilemma that we have. It is hard to find the balance between too much and too little details in the minutes. So what do we need to focus on? We definitely need to capture all the main points that have been discussed during the meeting. If it is an ExCom meeting, if it is a regular meeting, then of course, for all the 3 segments of our meeting, we need to take the details at a high level. Focus mainly on the motions and any information pertaining to the motions. This is for the ExCom meetings. Capture the time and place of the meetings, people present, their positions, assignments, next week's meeting, and so on and so forth. This is the minimum required to be maintained in the minutes of meeting. So this is very important, like in the corporate world as well. You must have seen in the minutes of meeting, you have the date, you have the topic of the meeting, you have the attendees, you have the regrets where people have not been able to attend, you have the main minutes of meeting captured, you have the action points. So similarly, in our minutes of meeting, to maintain this level of details. Club files missing. So when I take the handover, I see that the files that have been handed over to me are not up to date. So what do? I put it in order. Track down every necessary document, including the club charter, addendum, meetings, all this, since these are the documents that I need to maintain. I need to track it, file it, so that when I hand it over to the next secretary, next term, the person has everything there. Use club funds to purchase a portable file caddy or other small containers to organize your files. So the physical files is talking about, these days we are all maintaining electronic files, so you can have a folder on your laptop wherein you organize all the documents in the folders and keep along with your physical files, as the case may be. Develop, maintain, and document a simple, effective filing system and pass it on to your successor. And your successor will be happy and will thank you for doing that. Everyone likes to be organized, isn't it? No one likes work to be handed over in a chaotic manner, incomplete work. So if we did not get it in the manner in which we need, let us ensure that during our tenure, we maintain everything properly in an organized manner to date and hand it over to our successor. Another situation that can occur, this is specifically for the Zoom meetings. Now with Zoom meetings, it has become so easy for people to enter the meeting whenever they want, exit the meeting whenever they want, right? And you must have encountered situations wherein you got some guests to the meeting and they were not recorded. When you ask the secretary, I didn't see them in the meeting. Your guest just came, attended 30 minutes and left the meeting. And my secretary is taking minutes of meeting at that time. What do I do? How do I ensure that the attendance during the meeting is taken properly in this online meeting? So herein, we have this concept of, yes, okay. So herein we have this feature that kindly Zoom has given us, wherein we can have the co-hosts, and I can give this right to the co-host to admit members into the meeting. Now here members are to be considered members and as well as guests. So as a secretary, I can request to get this right. So I let people in the meeting. And what I can do is, when I'm letting, how do you do that? So you create a waiting room. When a person takes your meeting ID password, puts it in Zoom, they will first enter the waiting room, like all of you did today. You enter the meeting room and someone one by one lets you in, or everyone at the same time. So as a secretary, I can have the flexibility with me. While I'm letting in the members one by one, I can also mark the attendance. So that way, at least I ensure that whoever has attended the meeting is there on record. Second thing I can do is record the meeting. Once you record the meeting, you can refer to it later and see who have attended. Now, of course, there is another catch to it. I can record the attendance, but still the person leaves after 5 minutes or 10 minutes. That is also possible. So it is as an ExCom, you take a call, minimum the member has to attend half the meeting, 1 hour, 1.5 hours, and that is effective attendance, or just recording in your attendance sheet is effective attendance. But there are ways to ensure that your attendance paper or your attendance register has the correct information. So these were some case studies that I thought would be relevant to all of us. Any points that you have, any scenarios that you have encountered, please come forth and let us share it with the other administrators of the clubs. Please unmute yourselves.
Hi, ma'am. My name is Gajanan. I am a secretary of Marathi Toastmaster Club. And as you mentioned earlier, in scenario 3, I think, to take over the earlier record from the previous secretary. Since our club is new and my role, I am also new to this role. So there was no any record first of all. And since we are going through this training program, I'm learning so many things because these type of programs will give us more insights and more clarity on our roles and responsibility. So one issue or one thing I would like to highlight over here, because as a secretary, we have to do our role. That is our prime responsibility to take care of all the minutes and all this. Similarly, to achieve our next level, we have to do some other roles as well. We have to deliver the speeches, or we have to do a role of any other role like timer or table topic master and all this. So that time little bit conflicts are there. So in that case, we should have somebody to cover us and to take care of minutes or any good learnings or good sharings. So that is very, very important, my point of view, to cover. And for that, we, due to this Zoom facility, we can record it. But we have to use another person to cover our place whenever we are doing other roles in our club meetings. So that is very good learning for all of us. That's what I would like to highlight now.
Thank you so much. And I'm glad that from here.
Sir, ma'am, I have a doubt.
Yes, please.
Whenever we are having meetings more than 2 or 3 clubs together, how can I assess the members who are in and how I write the meetings for our club? If whether I have to include all the members who have attended or for our club, how do I assess or include the other members of other clubs?
Okay. So these joint meetings are arranged with the ExComs working together. Okay. So if I have 2 clubs who are having a joint meeting, so as secretary of your club and secretary of club A, you make an agreement that, okay, I'm going to record the minutes of the meeting and secretary A of club A will record the attendance. So that way you are not burdened with doing everything, right? So as secretaries, we can always have this agreement in joint meetings, but don't split it is what I would say, because it will again lead to some points missed here, some points missed there. So one person preferably does one job, other person does the other job. That will be more.
It is more than 3 clubs.
Again, the same arrangement. You can agree on between the 3 secretaries what you want to do. So secretary A says, okay, I will take attendance. Secretary B says, I will take the minutes. Secretary C takes another role. So it's all mutual agreement. That is
and
the whole.
We have to conclude together.
I'm sorry.
We have to how to conclude all the attendance minutes of the meeting. We have to pass it to others by WhatsApp or email.
Yes, better to circulate it, because you are going to take minutes of the meeting, the other person is going to take the attendance. It's always good when we have joint meetings to circulate it between 3 secretaries. If it is 3 meetings, 3 secretaries. Once all of you are on the same page with the minutes of meeting, with the attendance, then circulate it to everyone. Always good to have that consensus. It's always good to share and then do it with the larger public. Yeah. Yes, any other? Yes. Yes, please go ahead. Abba. I can just see your club name. I'm not seeing your name, so I'm just calling the club.
My name is Leena. My name is Leena.
Yes, please go ahead, Leena.
Based on the question previously put up, I would like to share my experience. We had a conference meeting with 3 clubs. So what I had done is I spoke with the other 2 secretaries before the meeting, and we had mutually decided that 2 of them, one of them will take care of the attendance, and the other person will take care of the Zoom attendance. putting the people in the, admitting people in the meeting. And at the same time, I took care of the minutes. After that, while taking care of the minutes, I was also keeping an eye on the attendance. And I had the list of members from both the clubs beforehand. So I know whom to attend, and I know who is attending this conference meeting for the first time as a guest, an outsider who is new to Toastmasters. So basically, I got the basic information from these two secretaries, and I took care of preparing the minutes and the attendance sheet and the guest book. All of them, I did it together. And then we passed it on to the other two clubs.
Great. Good job. Any other experiences that we get to learn from? Okay. So, after this, what do we excel at? This is my objective of this session. Specific communication and leadership skills, including accurate record keeping, time management, and organization. So these are the skills we learn during our tenure as the secretary of the club, and by the end of the term, we should excel in these 3 skills. I wish you all the best. These are the slides which I had for this presentation for this first segment of our training session. I hope it has refreshed everything in your memories. It must have also answered few of the queries that we have taken during the session. We've learned from our members' experiences. And of course, the show goes on. We'll have a short break now, the prayer break, and we will assemble back as per the agenda.
So if you can tell what time we need to assemble back, Bindu?
Yeah. 1 second. So we are breaking at 4:42. 10 minutes from now, 4:52, shall we reassemble, all of you? Take a short break, grab a cup of coffee, grab a cup of tea, have some snack, be energized, and I'll see you in 10 minutes. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bindu.
I hope you all had a wonderful break and you all are refreshed for a Q&A session. So let's start. Toastmaster Bindu. DBD, you will be conducting Q&A session?
It's the experience sharing session now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Over to you.
Yeah. Just give me 1 second. My light has just gone off.
Okay, no issues.
Hope all our secretaries are back. How was the first session?
Okay.
It was great. Yeah.
Thank you.
Good. It was very
roles now.
Yeah, it was very good, ma'am, and we learned so many things because we were not aware about so many things we have to do beside these minutes of meeting and keeping records, and especially request from my side to give some highlights on base camp.
Sure.
Yeah. So that will be great if you people can share with us.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Over to Bindu.
Thank you so much, Division B Director. And thank you all of you for coming back after the break. I hope all of you are energized. And this session is going to be a dialogue, not like the first session. There are no slides. There is no pre-prepared content for this. So it is for us to share our experiences. We can club this with the Q&A session and we can have both the sessions together. No issues about that. So in the base camp, as you mentioned, so being one of the officers, you have access to the base camp. Now base camp is is a place in your pathways wherein you go, you can see all the details as a club officer, right? So whenever a member submits for level completion, like to attain a particular level, you have certain number of speeches that you need to deliver. So once the member has completed those speeches, now along with the speeches, when I say I have completed the speech itself, if you see in Toastmasters, when you go there in the pathways, for each speech, there is a set of documents as well. There is a checklist. There are certain slides that gives you an orientation as a member if I'm doing my first speech in Toastmasters. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to deliver in that speech? So there has to be a specific objective for that. This objective needs to be achieved at the end of the speech. So this is the place wherein a member goes, reads all about the objective of the speech, what needs to be covered in the speech, what he is going to be learning or she is going to be learning while delivering that speech. Once he or she, and there is something called as self-assessment as well. So as you go ahead in the paths, there is something called as self-assessment. So if I'm trying to find out my leadership skill, which leadership pattern do I follow? And my speech is supposed to be on the leadership skills. So there is something over there where you go and do your assessment first. So you assess, there will be a set of questions and you respond to those questions with the most suitable answer. Once you are done with all the questions, it throws up the analysis to you. So your leadership skill could be X, Y, or Z, right? Based on that analysis, now you decide, okay, I am going to write a speech on the leadership styles. After you have delivered your speech, you again come back there and do a assessment after delivering the speech. And therein you know what you have learned after delivering the speech. So this is the kind of pattern that is followed for the speeches. Now, as a member, if Bindu says that I have completed my 3 speeches for level 2 or 4 speeches for level 2, who is going to verify whether I have done it in the structured manner that is required? So therein, as a base camp manager, I can verify whether all the documentation is there or not, whether I have followed that particular structured method or not. So once I am sure that, okay, whatever TI says, as per that the member has followed, completed all the speeches and got the feedback, the evaluations are done, the evaluation is also uploaded, then I say, fine, the level is completed. And then of course the other points go, like for the level completion, the club has points that they get for level 1 completion, level 2 completion, and that will go on as structured.
Along with the secretary being the base camp manager, we will have the president and the VP and secretary. All 3 are given this privilege of being the base camp managers. So in case VP is not able to verify, so the secretary can take that opportunity as a base camp manager to verify and approve the levels for submission. So it's not only secretary who is the base camp manager, it is the president, VP, and VP will be mainly doing it. If VP cannot assist, do it, or she's away, then secretary can take up and assist the VP, because 3 of them are given that rights, not other members. Over to you, Bindu.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Can all of us switch on our cameras? It becomes easier to talk when the cameras are on. And I can also see whether you are concentrating on the meeting or doing something else. Thank you.
Please feel free to ask questions or clarify any doubts or any challenges you had.
I would like to share something about my experience as a secretary in the previous 6 months.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah. Well, with regards to the preparation of the minutes of meeting, I prepare the minutes of meeting, but every time I go to the last, to the previous minutes of meeting and then do some edits. And then I don't have to rewrite everything from the beginning. So, I mean, the same, almost, it's not always the same sessions and the same parts of the minutes, but it helps, you know, not to do everything from scratch again and do the minutes. So this saves some time when preparing the minutes. That's one thing. Again, another thing is when I distribute the minutes of meeting by email, I just have to go back to the previous email and say reply to all, and then do some edits for the number, the new number of meeting and all that, and maybe add some descriptions, and then I again send. So it doesn't have to be every time to do everything from again and again. We can save time, and we can use also the previous minutes and previous emails. I just wanted to share this experience with everybody, just in case somebody is doing it every time from zero.
True. So as we say, reuse, recycle, right? So reuse,
Yes.
whatever we have done for the previous meeting, we can always take that as the template for the next meeting.
Yeah,
So the
exactly.
meeting is the time when we need to prepare the template. Next time,
Yeah,
on,
right.
it's no longer going to be a template. It can be a
Sure.
reusable document for the following meetings. Very
Yes,
well.
exactly.
That saves a lot of time.
You have to just change the numbers and names in the meeting minutes. Names of the role players.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, names of speakers and evaluators, and
Yeah, that's it.
but make sure we don't miss, you know, some forget about some information from the previous minutes, and we just leave it there.
Mainly the business session, what has been discussed, that has to be there in the minutes recorded.
Yeah, good evening to all. It is a good idea to detail what are to be included in the minutes of meeting. It will help the new officers.
Very important to be.
There is some directions what are to be included in the minutes of meeting. Just a detail about that one. That will help the new officers.
I think there is a template from Doha
Yeah, it is
Toastmasters
there in the
about
club
that.
leadership handbook also. It is very detailed what are to be included.
It's like any meetings, you know, just the major procedures and the major events, and also the names of people who participated in the meeting, like the role players, speakers, evaluators, table topic master, Toastmaster of the day, and others.
When I make minutes of meeting, I Write the name of the speaker, his speech title, what project he has been doing, and which pathways he is following, so that it's good even for me to keep the record for further, and highlight the important points of his speech and what the evaluator has suggested as commendations and recommendations. I have made a table of this, and I do it for every speaker. So anytime if speaker loses his evaluation forms or something, he can just refer to the minutes of meeting and get the necessary things. Again, as other members also can get learn from the previous speakers' examples, like what recommendations were given to him. Maybe I can follow the same when I'm doing same project. So if someone is doing icebreaker for the first time, he can refer to the minutes of meeting where the icebreaker is done by the previous member, take the do's and don'ts from that, and improve his session. So that's what I'm doing it to help the members in my club.
Great, great. That's fantastic. The level of detail that you're maintaining. And it does come handy. It does come handy.
Normally, the basic things should be there. Club name, date, type of meeting, meeting locations, name of the meeting attendees, that sort of things. There is some direction in that.
No, even the comments from the evaluators has to be recorded or not?
No, it's not necessary.
Yes, I do record. I do record them just for the benefits of others, so that someone else can follow them and take a lesson from that. So it's just, I'm doing it because I want to do it. I don't know whether it's necessary or not, but I'm doing it because I feel like doing that for others. So I'm doing it.
Even general evaluators comments will be recorded. Actually, means like that's something which has happened in the meeting. So do we have to record it or not? If you are recording all these things, it's not a 10 minutes job. As the first person recommends, like, yeah.
I do record that. For general evaluators also, I highlight the important points. So I won't go in every detail what action we have to take. Like suppose general evaluator has suggested to bring in more guests. So I'll just mention that bring in more guests. I won't tell how she has asked us to do that or what. But yes, this was the point given by general evaluator. If next time same point is highlighted by another general evaluator, then the club ExCom has to look definitely into this point and work on that.
When do you prepare the? Sorry for interrupting. No, when do you prepare the MOM? Is it during the meeting or from the recording? I used to do it from the recording.
No, I don't do it from recording. Actually, I do it when it's going on. So what I do is I do some prior preparations. As I have made my minutes of meeting template, I add basic things in that. What is in agenda, like who is going to preside the meeting, sergeant and arms, role players taken. Then whatever things I can add there, I do that. So only while taking minutes of meeting, I write what speaker has highlighted, what president has said regarding the theme and all those things. So others I don't do, and I keep attendance only, that's all. Before meeting starts, I mark the attendance, and after meeting, I mark the attendance. So that saves my time. So I can make most of the minutes. And if I'm giving the speech, I tell somebody else to mark the things. So when I'm giving the speech, I may not be able to look at the attendance or all. So I tell the other person, just kindly refer to it, and then I mark it with their help. That's all.
Okay. Thank you.
Excellent, excellent.
For me, actually, I try to limit the minutes of meeting to 2 pages only. So that's how I do it, because it makes it easy for anybody. If he wants to look at the minutes, then he can look at the headlines and all that and screen it quickly and then know what happened. But I don't like to make it too much lengthy, because this might, create some resistance to read it by others.
Yes, sir. And to add to that point, the standard format that is available in Toastmaster International's resource library, which is very detailed, in that you get different formats according to the color you like and according to the Toastmaster International approved colors. So that resource library in Toastmaster International is very helpful because it has a lot of formats, especially if you're planning to update your club website, the group. It has the standard approved flyers formats. You can just download them and just edit it. So that can be the basic format that you can follow, and it is just 2 pages. So keep it as brief as possible so that it's easier to, even if you want to read it in the meeting, you can just finish it off in like 2 minutes.
Exactly, that's how I do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the resource library, all of you, it really helps. There's a lot of things in that which we don't really pay attention to, especially since all of us are in the online scenario right now. A lot of tools which you can use, especially for the VPPR, and even if you're assisting them in preparing any documents. So that is a good resource, and especially it's always good to go through the recordings, because it's not a privilege that we have in face-to-face meetings. So it can really helps you to have a perfect report capturing any last-minute changes. So that is that really helps me, since I'm from a corporate club and I am really short of time at times in between preparing the reports. That's all.
Exactly. There is a recording of the meeting anyway. Everybody can go back to the recording and re-listen to everything.
Yeah. And in my opinion,
I would
a very
request-
detailed report, no? It will help the new clubs, but the seasoned club, it is not at all required. But a very detailed recording is always help the new clubs.
Yes.
I would request if formats, I mean, not the formats, the minutes of meeting, which is as per the regulations, as per the requirements. If you have some 2 or 3 formats circulated to all the clubs, it will be great, because this is something new, I believe. Okay, I am new to I'm new to Toastmasters. So what I understood is actually this is something new which is started from this session. I mean, this term.
No, minutes of meeting is always there. It's always there for all the meetings. We are supposed to prepare the minutes of meeting. And as Toastmaster Sunny was just emphasizing, there are a minimum required content. There is minimum required content that is stipulated by TI that needs to be covered in the minutes of meeting. So that is something that we all need to cover in the minutes of meeting. In addition to that, we would like to cover lots more information, like Toastmaster Priya mentioned. She takes all the information of the speeches delivered, the evaluations delivered to the speakers, then the general evaluators' comments. So this is on us individually. It's a call we take individually, whether we want to cover this in the minutes of meeting and to what detail we want to cover. As you saw, one of the case studies that I mentioned is how much detail should we cover, whether it is too little or it is too extensive. So there is a minimum fields, there is a minimum content that is stipulated by TI that all of us should follow. In addition to that, whatever we are doing, that is our value addition to that role.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I would love to hear from other secretaries, also from other clubs.
Yes,
take this opportunity to come forward, asking or clarify your doubts.
Not only clarifying your doubts, you can share the good practices that you are following in your club. This is a forum for all of us to learn. So like few of the Toastmasters have explained to us how they're maintaining the MOM. Please share your experiences with the forum, with the other secretaries over here. It may give opportunities for improvement. Much valued.
Thank you. When
Go
we
ahead.
decide on the next day of meeting, that is 2 weeks or whatever it is, immediately I start, I check up with my VP and we make a list. And instantly I start following up with the speakers to give the titles so that the making of the agenda is very easy. It is done much before and I can send it to the PQD mail. So the VP is part of making the agenda. I take care of it. And she only has to allocate the evaluators. I follow up personally with each and every speaker and
Great.
prepare the agendas.
Very nice. Your VP
You are a
will be
multitasker.
enough.
No. I just like that doing it.
Yeah, that is how we have to be, our heart and soul into it. And then that is when we will give 100% or maybe more than.
Yeah, my experience, ma'am, as a secretary, what we are doing, okay, as we have a format, that is a standard format in which we are putting all the, data. Beside that, whatever speeches, whether it is table topic or any other speeches, like icebreaker speeches or guest speeches, we are highlighting the main insights, main learnings from that, and those we are putting in a board so that when we are circulating this MOM, the people, the club members will read it and will take something out of that. So that's what we are doing on regular basis. In fact, we are going back and referring the recording as well to capture all the important nuggets from those meetings. So that's what we are following. Moving forward, once the flyer is out for the next meeting, so we are preparing a draft as a MOM draft so that we will not spend much time preparing the MOM, post MOM, and we can circulate it as early as possible. So that is the practice we are doing in Marathi Toastmaster Club.
Great. Very nice.
Good to hear from the new club which is started this year itself, Marathi Toastmasters Club. A round of applause to our Marathi Club Toastmaster Secretary, Gajanan.
Thank you, ma'am.
Toastmaster
We
Bindu.
have many, this year we have new clubs. And I take this opportunity to welcome all the new secretaries of this new club started this year. Nearly 6 to 8 clubs have been charted here. So if you have any challenges or any queries, as I have taken up recently the roles, I hope this session has become very useful to you all. So, but if you have any doubts to clarify, you take this opportunity to come forward. We have this Utkalika Club. Then we have PWA Club, Midas. Any other new clubs? Please come forward, please.
Toastmaster Bindu, I'm not sure if I missed it when you covered the minutes of the meetings. Did you talk about the club elections, the role of a secretary during the club elections?
Yes, I'm coming to that.
Yes.
That is one of the things for the the senior members.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, thank you.
Okay. So how many of you have witnessed an election at your club? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Few of us have done that. Few of you are new clubs, so probably you're the first time office bearers and this is the first ExCom. Sometimes it may happen that I stand for a particular position in the ExCom, but no one votes for me. No one votes for me. Not that they don't like me, but maybe they don't know me. It's quite possible. So what happens in that case? Do I get elected or I don't get elected? What do you think? What should happen?
You got elected. I think it's called nominated. You will be nominated as the only one who
Who stood for that
showed
position?
interest. Yeah.
Okay. Any other responses?
No, both way we can say, ma'am. Whether elected, if you are alone, then you will be elected. If not, then definitely the result will be no.
if the election announced, then you have to cast one single vote from secretary.
Yes. So I don't get a walkover. I don't get nominated. I don't get automatically elected to that position. There has to be one vote, and that vote is your vote. That is the secretary's vote. So that is how important your role in the ExCom is. When there are these kind of situations, you know where you are. As a secretary, it's your ballot that counts to elect this person to the office. Another very important responsibility that lies on our shoulders.
Okay. I have one query, if you would allow me.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's about sometimes we invite keynote speakers to the club. Is it the role of the secretary to arrange with the keynote? I'm sure that the VP Education will arrange that and all that, but does the secretary have any role in dealing with this case?
So, VPE, yes, the VP go ahead, does the hunting, okay, who can be the possible keynote speaker. But as we just saw, secretary at the center. So we are ready to lend our hand in any of the roles that require assistance. And many a times, let me tell you, it so happens you bank on one person, one second. You bank on one person to be your keynote speaker, and it turns out that at just 2 days before the event, the person backs out. What do you do then? So it's always good to have a backup plan. And it's always good to have at least 2 or 3 keynote speakers in your list. So VP is following up with people that he or she thinks should be good enough for that meeting. Just give me 2 seconds. Okay, so VPE is always going to do the job, find out the keynote speaker. However, we can also be helping hands and have a backup plan. We also do the hunting for best keynote speakers. And of course, we keep them informed. It's not so that if my main keynote speaker is fine, goes ahead with the schedule and is available to me, I keep the others on standby and I don't inform them. No. We need to have the proper communication as well. As I said, communication is a key. So in future, we may need to have these backup keynote speakers as our main keynote speakers. So that has to be obviously managed.
I know it's different now, virtual versus face-to-face meetings, but yeah, maybe in face-to-face meetings, it takes more arrangements and more communications and more effort to make it happen. But now in virtual meetings, it's easier.
It's easier because due to technology, but you
Yes.
never know how the schedule of a person can change. So
Yeah, exactly.
we account for those things as well.
But also you can invite people from other countries to participate in the meeting, which was not possible in the
Yes.
face-to-face meetings.
Exactly. The other day we had Melar from Sri Lanka, and he was just emphasizing on this, that I am broke, but I am able to attend meetings in any part of the world. Of course, it was on a simple note, but that is how it is. We don't need
Yeah,
to.
exactly.
We don't need to spend money on traveling just to deliver a
Absolutely.
key. So it's become easier. But of course,
Absolutely.
the administration behind that still remains for us to be done. Yeah?
And it's an advantage. It's something we learned from virtual meetings that.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, please go ahead.
I'm from Mindtundwas Malayalam Toastmaster. Ma'am, this pandemic situation, our face-to-face meeting is over the last, this month, December 4th, our first face-to-face meeting is over from the Kairali Auditorium restaurant, Doha.
Okay. So you had your first face-to-face meeting.
Yeah. After the pandemic situation.
Okay.
The corona situation, we are face-to-face meeting in the restaurant of Kairali Hotel, Doha.
I hope you are following all the social distancing norms and everything, right?
Yeah, sure.
You don't want someone coming, inspecting and then saying, okay, Toastmasters.
Don't worry, nothing is there.
Great.
I think the Sri Lankan club secretary was raising his question, raising his hand. Sri Lankan club Toastmaster?
No, ma'am, it's a mistake.
Okay.
Yeah, Toastmaster Sunny, you had some point?
No. Already some other clubs also started hybrid meetings and face-to-face meetings. Our club also already started that one.
Yeah, great.
And two things I really wish to add. One thing, the role players load. If the VP education is not maintaining such a thing, secretary can help him to maintain a role players load sheet, either in Excel sheet or in some mode. And one more thing, this maintaining files, especially the membership applications, the audit reports, that sort of things. There is some regulations from Toastmasters to maintain so many years. This membership obligations you have to maintain till the end of the club. And some other things now, 7 years, 5 years, 3 years, some regulations are there. It's a good idea. That is the prime responsibility of secretary, I think. Okay, like to explain now.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sunny. Yeah. So as we had discussed, documentation comes with regulations which are stipulated and which we need to follow.
Excuse me, I have one question. Now, in the future, as the club contests are coming, so as a secretary in the club contest, is there any particular, special role that we have to do in the club contest meetings in the recording of the data?
The same things will go on. Again, your meetings have to be recorded like we are doing. The minutes of meeting have to be done. In addition to that, you can be an asset to your contest manager who is arranging for the entire contest. So in whatever way you can help him or her in order to get the judges, in order to arrange for stationery, in whatever way you can be a helping hand to your contest manager, it would be good.
Okay. Thanks.
I have a question, ma'am.
Yes, please go ahead.
Actually, I'm new to Toastmasters, just 1 year. So we are planning to have conduct the moments of truth. So could you explain the roles and responsibilities of a secretary for this?
Yeah, Raina, could you take that question, please?
Yes, Moments of Truth, actually it is conducted by the area director in its area, or the individually in each club. So it's the area director will be informing the VP or the president that when he or she plans to visit the club for an area visit, and that area visit, she can do the Moments of Truth at that area visit time, or she can take another meeting slot just to give the Moments of Truth. And when the Moments of Truth is given, all the members are actively involved in that because it is an interactive session. There's a questionnaire, and only you can record it in your minutes that Moments of Truth have been taken, conducted on such a date. As a secretary, you don't have any such role with the Moments of Truth.
Because I have never seen what is Moments of Truth. So I don't know. I have no idea about it. That's why
It is an introspection about the club, actually, how the club functions in different aspects. There are 6 aspects of Moments of Truth. So how those aspects are being dealt with in the club, how you perform, the good points in this, where you have to improve. Those are it's a introspection of the club so that you can improve on those areas.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, DBT.
Okay.
So that's in the corporate world, we call it as the continuous improvement process. So you do the moments of truth, you learn from that, you implement improvement measures. Again, next year you can again perform and see how you're going up the curve.
It's like lessons learned. Is it like lessons learned? Yeah.
Exactly. Yes. Lessons
And
learned,
also,
documented and implemented.
Regarding the contest, as we are in the contest season now, the secretary has to make note of the contest also, like, who is the contest chair and the contestants, the results, all that has to be recorded very well in every contest. Who is the chief judge and all those matters. It will be a different minutes, not the normal meeting. So, but it has to be recorded.
It's like when
where
we
we can
record
find
also
the
the XCOM meeting minutes.
Yes, that has been already discussed. So,
do we have any exact format for that? I mean, for the to recorded that the contest minutes on that, because I normally do it for the things, but I don't have any format. I mean, I never did it for any the contest.
at the contest,
So where we can get that?
yeah, nothing special about it. You have to just mention about the role players of that day. You will have the meeting agenda. So you can refer the agenda and make a note of the minutes. And that is also counted as a meeting number of the club. Even the contest meeting is considered as a meeting number. So you just see how many attendees were there, how many participated in the contest, and who are the winners. And that's what contest were held on that day, and that particular contest, if it is humorous, who was the contest chair of that is what is to be recorded. Nothing much in detail. You don't have to give a brief or detail about all the contestants' speech titles and all those, nothing as such. Number of contestants in each category, and who are the winners in that contest. Okay. Because if there are 2 contests in a particular day, one humorous contest may be a different contest chair, and for evaluation contest there may be another contest chair, and the chief judges may be different.
Yeah.
So, and role players also, who are the tally counters, who are the timers.
Okay.
Actually, there will be an agenda for the contest, similar to the agenda for any Toastmaster meeting. And we can use that agenda as a reference to do the minutes.
There's not required a separate template as such. Just consider only these role players things, and the winners is important.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Ma'am, I have a doubt. Last year only I joined in Toastmasters. Now, but last year it was physical meetings, and now when I became a secretary, I didn't get any record from the previous meetings and all. Now I'm just maintaining files on my laptop in the folder. So once the physical meeting starts, do I need to take a printout and file it, or what will be the procedure? Because I have not seen previous record what has been done, so I'm just asking.
So you did not get any files from your predecessor?
No, because of the pandemic, we didn't move anywhere here and there. So to transfer the data, so I have not seen anything as such. So I just wanted to ask, now what should I do? Do I need to take a printout to file and keep, or is it okay if it's only in my folder on laptop?
So if you have it in a folder also in the electronic copy as well, you have to follow the stipulated guidelines as to for how many years you're supposed to keep it. Yeah, so what kind of documents for how many years, what is the duration, retention period, what we say, what is going to be the retention period. So that has to be very, very carefully done. And then when you give it to your successor, see that everything is in an organized manner, and then give it as an electronic record to them. And of course, by then, hopefully the pandemic will be out and we'll have the physical files from your predecessors as well. So that can form as an addendum to the physical file. Yeah.
Most likely the things will go to normal. So it's better if you print out and keep and maintain a file, and just you can hand over the file to the new secretary. So what has not happened in the past, but you can make it into practice. So when you hand over, you can give all the documents to your successor.
I'm not saying it has not been done in the past, but I have not seen the record because we were not able to forward it to anyone due to the pandemic. But if it is there, then I just wanted to know if I have to take the printout and keep.
Yeah,
Excuse me, ma'am.
When things get normal, you can take the file from the previous secretary and you can just put your minutes files also in that same file, so that the same file can be carried over and handed over.
Okay. Thank you.
The same situation for everyone, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am, I would like to highlight because our club was started in the pandemic. Okay.
Yeah.
So we don't have any physical record. We don't have any face-to-face meeting yet. We have planned for Diwali, but again, because of current situation, we are not able to do. So this, but whatever we are maintaining, we have to keep it in a both, means hard copy as well as soft copy. And definitely we will take this opinion. We learn a lot. Yeah, we learn a lot from today's meeting, and definitely with this discussion, a lot of sharings and lot of taken away from this meeting. So my question is, in case required in future, possible to contact you people.
Yes.
Can we come back to you for our queries?
Definitely, you can come back to us. Definitely.
Thank you, ma'am. Because we are learning and we are comparatively we are new to this, and maybe once upon progression we will have some queries, some questions, or some more information may be required. It will be available on Toastmaster International, but listening from this type of platforms or listening from one-to-one, it is totally impactful, and that is the reason we will definitely come back to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. And as they say, pictures speak more than words.
Yes.
And of course, in face-to-face discussions, make them more clarity, give you more clarity rather than going through the stuff, literature, and it's left to interpretation many a times. So definitely you can reach out to us anytime and we shall give you the response. We shall give you the feedback that is requested. Definitely.
That will be great. Thanks, ma'am. Thank you, both of you.
Bindu ma'am, I wanted to add one thing regarding the contest you mentioned. If a secretary is participant, he can't help in finding judges.
Yes.
That only contest manager can do. So that is the point we need to take care if we are a participant.
Whoever is participating cannot participate or cannot help in finding the judges. That is the ground rule that all of us need to be conscious of, I should say. So if I'm participating, I should not go hunting for judges. It has to be a completely different team that is going to go hunting for judges.
Yeah,
Yes, please go ahead.
I just wanted to ask about how many terms can we serve as secretary? Is it one term and then we have to hand over to somebody else, or we can renew for one more year, or how many years, or what it, how it works? if there are any rules about this.
Usually every year we change up the roles, and if you have done one role, we try to go for the next role in the XCOM.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. But after serving other roles, if you want to come back and serve that role again, secretary, you are free to do that. You can come back.
Yeah, sure.
After a year's gap, 3 years gap, or not successively. But if there is no one, then in case of those such cases, special cases only, you can take it over. But it is recommended that you take up another role and give others chance of taking up that secretary role.
In addition to that, give others chance, and you will get chance to serve in other role. You will get also exposure.
Sure.
Right? So that is also, as a Toastmaster, it is also important, equally important.
How about TWA Toastmasters? Do you have any questions? Or Utkalika Club? Would like to hear from others also. Hope you all are still here. You can put on your screen on now so that we can take a photo. Any other secretaries? Any questions?
Thank you.
Anybody else want to share any experience, or we can conclude this question answer session now?
I would like to share a funny incident.
Yes,
like when the elections was going on for the secretarial post, there were only 2 nominations, and the number of votes was equal. And then it was just we mutually decided, and everybody said, "Okay, one of you take it up." So I volunteered and I took it up. The votes was equal between both of us, and both of us are new to the club.
Ma'am?
That's nice to know.
Yeah, ma'am, one question. It's a small question.
Yes, please.
Just to ask the fellow secretaries, since we have various ways of recording the attendance, one is referring to the participant list and then referring to the recording. So is there any other simpler ways? Is anyone, because in between a lot of people just come for maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and sometimes we miss it. And sometimes it's quite hectic to refer to a 2-hour recording as well. So is anybody following any other simpler methods to ensure that every attendees are recorded other than any manual methods? Just
I would like to answer this. Yes, the list of attendees can be generated from Zoom account once meeting is over. You need to just go to records, and then there you need to enter meeting ID or the meeting timing, and then you can generate the entire list of attendees.
Actually,
here, do a list of when they entered, when they left the meeting, everything will be
recorded.
Yeah,
everything according to even if they have attended for 1 minute, it will show 1 minute.
But I think it's only for the host, is it?
Yeah.
And we are actually, since we are a corporate club, we are limited by our IT department, who has recommended us to use Teams, which is not as user-friendly compared to Zoom, because since Zoom has the security issue.
If I could add here.
Because we've been instructed to strictly follow.
Yeah, sorry, if I could add.
Yes, please.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. So what I usually do is I take a screenshot from time to time of the participants. Like in Zoom, even in Teams, you have the participants list. So you can just keep a screenshot and paste it into a Word, or even you can save it in a JPG format. So maybe later you can refer to it. Like you can decide on your own, like who is more eligible for being listed in the attendees. So that could help, I guess. Just a screenshot.
Yeah, that's what I'm currently doing. Just taking the screenshot.
And one more thing. One more thing to be added. If you take a screenshot time to time, and you can consider the maximum numbers you captured, that will be the final list for attendees. That's what we are doing it. because this Zoom rights, they generally it is with the VPE or VPM. So that's why as a secretary, you can take screenshot and that will be the attendance record.
Okay, thank you everyone. That sorted out.
Yes, just to add on, this seems to be a common practice. I have had a dialogue with a few of my fraternity members as secretaries, and this is the feedback that I also got from them. Every 30 minutes, they take a screenshot and they file it. After the meeting, then they see the record, who is there in the maximum number of snapshots, and that is their attendance list. This seems to be the most popular method, looks like.
But maybe it's also good to if someone has logged in for a minute only and then he left or she left, then it's maybe he's not eligible to be recorded as attendance. So that's also possible.
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, that's a decision as an ExCom we need to take.
Yeah, exactly.
What is the duration of time that qualifies for the member to be marked as
attendant?
Yeah, present. Yeah.
Yeah, but then most of our meetings are on Zoom, so I would recommend that you use those Zoom attendance sheets to mark the attendance, because screenshots could be misleading. You could miss, it is not the right, it's not the perfect way of doing it. It is a way of doing it, but wherever you are doing your meetings on Zoom, I think you can use the facility on Zoom to download that attendance sheet.
Yeah, that's the best and the safest method to do it. Whoever is the host for the meeting can do it and provide it to you.
Provide it to the secretary. Yeah.
The secretaries can ask the host to give that record for you all.
Yes.
For your maintenance.
Yeah, so this could be an issue I see largely only with corporate clubs, because yes, in the corporate world, the Zoom is not very popular. So they prefer using MS Teams, and there is a little bit of challenge in that front. Yep.
Yeah. I think if there are no more questions.
Any other questions, any other experiences that anyone would like to share?
Yeah, I'd like to share.
Yes, Telugu.
Yeah, I like to share my experience as a secretary. After preparing the minutes of meeting, I used to post to district immediately within 3 days. After that, I used to post in Google groups also to my club.
Yeah.
Great.
For awards and everything. I want to share this point to all.
Great.
I think you can also share in your Facebook also, if you have a page.
Yeah, Facebook also, Instagram, Facebook. And one more thing I like to share. I used to help for VP Public Relations to updating the website, our club programs and everything.
Yes.
Photos and up-to-date meetings, everything.
I have a question.
And whenever my clubs needs, I am there for them. It's maybe whichever the post.
That's nice.
Thank you.
Members have to support each other so that the club can function well. Yes, please, Stafford.
Yeah. I was paying attention to reading the minutes. I think we don't read minutes any longer. I'm just taking up the role, so I'm just getting the hang of things. We share the minutes now, but our club, the point of issue we always have is our agenda gets updated all the time, to the point of just 30 minutes before the meeting also we are still editing it. So there was this and there were a little confusions and some ExCom members were very unhappy with it. So there was this idea that we second the agenda at the beginning of the meeting as well, so that everyone knows what evaluation they're doing and that the evaluation forms have been communicated and things like that. So my question is, now if the agenda is the VPE's responsibility, is it the VPE who should be seconding this and things like that? Because we were having this conversation and people were very sort of confused as to who should be nominating it, seconding it and things like that.
So to that, just a little bit of clarity. So what exactly is the minutes, as you mentioned, seconding of the agenda, sorry.
Yes, Bindu, I didn't catch exactly what you were asking me.
Yeah, there was a bit of disturbance. I just need a little bit of clarity as to seconding the agenda you're saying at the beginning of the meeting.
Yes.
Okay, so saying that this is the final agenda and we go ahead.
Exactly. Exactly, because people are like holding on to different versions of the agenda and we were like confused. That's what was happening here.
Typically, it is the VP who should have the final version of the agenda, right? And of course, the VP needs to share it with everyone there in the meeting. Okay, this is the final agenda for today. However, there will still be some changes to it. However foolproof you try to make the mechanism, someone is not able to come back from office. So they're stuck with some work. And the person is supposed to deliver a speech. So that slot just goes. So these kind of situations will still be there. However, since it is principally the VP's responsibility to prepare and circulate the agenda, it should remain with the VP.
VP, yes.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Just want to add on that point.
Yes.
Yeah. There will be last minute changes and the Toastmaster of the day announces the changes. And when the Toastmaster of the day announces the changes, it is the secretary's responsibility to make note and who are the final role players, who are the final speakers. So what your minutes are done as per the happening in the meeting. So that will be a final one. So when you read out the minutes, VP can second your minutes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, Anna, can I ask?
Yes, yes, go ahead.
Yeah, do we need to post the details of the contest meetings to the district? The details, I mean, we are having contest in our club. So do we need to post it to the district?
You can post the agendas.
But no need to post the MO. Okay. Because as a secretary, I make the MOM. So just needed to ask it. Okay.
But I think so, if it is you're following some awards, for the awards, if you have to send it, if it's a requirement, then you need to send it.
Okay.
Yeah, and the contest.
Qualified for that awards.
Okay. A club contest also just like a contest, normal club meeting.
Okay.
So, yeah, within 3 days we have to submit that one.
Yeah, that I do every time, but just regarding the contest meeting, I was not sure. Okay.
Contest also treated as a normal meeting of the club.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay,
I need a clarification. Do we need to submit minutes of meeting in 7 days or 3 days? Because I remember it was 7 days and agenda in 3 days. 3 days prior to the meeting and minutes of meeting in 7 days to district. What is it? Because I'm sending it before 7 days of completion. So
Aurora Club, are you following it up regularly? So you can clarify on this point.
Yes, because I'm sending within 3 days. But like if it is on Wednesday, by Friday, I make it a point that I send it to the district. But you know, in the first court meeting, it was said that you have to send within 7 days.
Yeah, so we are following it within 7 days because I send it to my ExCom. I get it certified from them, and then I forward it to district.
Yeah, same way I do, but I make it
because
a point.
ExCom, everyone doesn't do it in 1 or 2 days, so I have to wait, and then so I just wanted a clarification. Is it 7 days or 3 days?
Yeah.
Bindu, there is a question in the chat. If you can answer it. CNAQ. Is it necessary that we read the minutes every meeting, or is it okay if we just share on our WhatsApp group?
It is absolutely not necessary to read it in every meeting, as long as we circulate it before the next meeting so that all the members are aware of what transpired in that meeting, particular meeting. They go through it, that's fine. There is no need to read it in every meeting.
May I add my experience?
It is a good practice to read in the minutes, but then people want to save timing, so they have stopped reading the minutes as such. But if it is not circulated, then it is a practice to follow to read the minutes in the meeting. I think we are time up. And
Lina has a question, some experience to share. Lina?
Yes, yes. Toastmaster Priya was talking about the minutes of the meeting. What I do normally is the same day after the meeting, I prepare the minutes and send it to the ExCom. Now, what she has shared is that the ExCom does not reply immediately. So what I do is personally, I follow up with each and every ExCom member and have it cleared on the same day of the meeting. And then I send it to the PQD. So our coordination between the ExCom itself, I do it over the phone, follow up, and then as soon as possible, you send it to the PQD. So you don't need to wait for the ExCom to clear the minutes. That is a practice I do. I think it will help you.
Every club has a different ExCom, Lina. So
That's right. That's right. No, but I follow up by phone.
How they react and how they fast they respond.
That's true. That's true. But thankfully, my ExCom is very good. I'm proud of it.
Here the case is, as per the direction from the district officials, we have to submit within 3 days or 7 days for the eligibility. Then we have to clarify that one.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Actually, on Priya's point, last year it was 3 days. Within 3 days, we have to submit. This year, it is within 7 days, we have to submit.
Great, great.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Thank you for clarifying.
So I fix myself to 3 days only. That's why I'm submitting in 3 days. That's it.
That's a good information.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Question.
Timer has shown the red light.
Now we are already at red now.
Yes. You can conclude, Bindu.
So if we don't have any further queries, all experiences shared, we have learned from each other. I hope it's added value to you. I hope it has given you some insights in the way other secretaries are working, how you can imbibe some of those, and how you can improve in the process, bringing your club great success and improving your leadership skills of timekeeping, organization, and accurate record keeping. All the best to all of you. As we mentioned earlier, in case you have any queries, in case you have any questions, you can reach out to us and we will be more than delighted to provide you with the feedback. Thank you so much. Over to you, Division B Director, Raina.
Thank you so much, Bindu Singh. Let's give her a wonderful and thunderous applause to our trainer, Bindu Singh, for doing a wonderful session on educating us on the role of a secretary. I'm sure we have learned a lot from her today. And with the support of all of you secretaries, I think so we were able to learn more, sharing our experience. And I hope you are all enjoyed this session, and I'm sure that's why you all are still here. Isn't it?
Yes, we thoroughly enjoyed. We got to learn so many things. Thank you.
Okay. So we think secretary role is not a big role, but you learn now that your role is such an important role. And not only that, when a new club is started, the secretary plays a great role, as an important role. Just along with the new charter president, the new charter secretary has the privilege of signing those charter documents. Without the signature of the president and the secretary, the charter documents are not accepted by the TI. So as a secretary, you play a very great role. Even you have the voting rights, special privileges the secretary enjoys, and you are the heart and soul of a club, where for anything, what you need for the previous reports, anything, they have to come back to the secretary. So secretary is an important role. So carry out your role very well, enjoy doing your role, give your best to the club, support your club, support your ExCom, and let your clubs all perform and do best. And all the clubs of District 116, let them shine and grow to greater heights.
Yeah.
With this,
Thank you.
Thank you.
I thank the Toastmaster Bindu Singh for giving us a wonderful training session. And
Yes.
wow,
Thank you, Rihanna, ma'am.
host
Thank you,
Parul
Rihanna.
Srivastava, co-host Nimita Anish and Chandrasekhar. Thank you for your support in admitting all our participants today and supporting in having this Zoom account running successfully and naming and helping each another, all the attendees to name themselves and keeping controlled on the muting also. I thank our timer, Joylin. She has been very patiently timing all the sessions and showing the green, red and yellow signals. Thank you very much, Joylin, for supporting us. And not to forget our registration team, Vanessa and Anju, who have been monitoring carefully who entered what time they left, and who. So the whole report will go to the district. So some who have come only for 10 or 15 minutes, even that will be notified. So if you have to get a credit, you have to be there for the whole session. So I'm sure you all have helped your club by attending this training, getting your club the DCP point required, and to make your club distinguished and or above. With this note, I wish you all a wonderful evening, a wonderful weekend, and adjourn this COT 2 training session for secretary role.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Bindu ma'am. Thank you, Rihanna ma'am. It's a very wonderful section. First, I am thinking, 3 hours, 3 to 6. I am so, I'm not comfortable at that time, but I don't know the time is, how it's going on the time. Now it's okay, very helpful, very interesting. Thank you once again.
Even I was thinking, there is not much to share for 3 to 6, but you see, when we share experience, we have a lot to share.
First I think is that how I manage the 3 hours, but I don't know the time is going, how it's going on. It's very easily going on. Very interesting.
Yeah. If you all are still there, can we take a photo session?
Actually, I took the screenshots during the full strength.
Thank you, Parul. Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Should I end the meeting?
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Good luck to your role as a club secretary, and hope you will be finding a successful successor to hand over. So train club successor for your role.
Sure.
And at the end of this term, you have one more important role, that is when the new ExCom is formed, you have to submit the new ExCom list. That is one of the major points before you end up this role as your secretary in the month of June. From June 1st, the TI will open up and you have to submit the new ExCom details. As a secretary, it is the right of the secretary to submit the new ExCom names to the TI. So do your duties well, and all the best for you and to your clubs.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
So interesting. Without your interaction and without your participation, it wouldn't have been able. So it all matters when you all also participate and actively participate in the session.
Yeah.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good night. Enjoy your evening and the weekend.
Yeah, enjoy the rest of the
Should I end the
weekend.
meeting now?
Yeah, you can stop recording, Ani.